congratulations, gentlemen, for Mr. Birthday.
Yeah, we had fun making it.
It looks like a lot of fun. So this is terrific. Well, let me start off with this. Dan, why did you want to direct Mr. Birthday?
Well, I think everybody's got that one special day, no matter who you are, and that's your birthday. And I think it's important that we recognize that. And this is a film about kind of shedding a little light on people who maybe need a little extra help on their birthday and maybe need a little extra push to make that day special. So I've always been a big fan of the birthday. I think it's kind of like, we call it like the universal holiday that we all have just for ourselves, and it's kind of unique, and that's special. So, you know, I feel like that as the backdrop of this kind of lighthearted, fun family comedy, I thought it was just great.
That is terrific to hear. Now I'm going to bounce it to Eric over here, but Eric, you must be the busiest man in Hollywood. I don't know how you fit this into your schedule, but what actually attracted you, and how did you ended up on this project?
Well, you know, I play a lot of bad guys, and this is an uplifting film about life being celebrated, and it deals with a heartbreaking phenomenon about a kid not having a birthday party, about a kid having a birthday party that almost nobody shows up to. All the planning, the excitement, the decorations, and not enough people to share it with. It's traumatic. But Mr. Birthday has a solution to all this, and it becomes a very healing movie in a way that is very subtly intelligent and very subtly kind and very subtly grown up. And I don't get to be in a lot of those movies. So when I read this script, in fact, it was on my desk from my reader who said, you know, you're going to like this, Eric. So, and he was right. It's just a wonderful, wonderful little movie. And I love Anne Marie and Jason. I worked with Anne Marie in Stalked by My Doctor, and which is a series of movies I made for Lifetime. And I actually worked with Jason's brother, who's a big fan of one of my stepkids, Keaton Simons.
Oh, wow. Well, Dan, how did you want to approach a film like this? Because it is fun, it is silly, and you know, it's very entertaining. But it seems like you had a lot of factors going on, you know, with children and jokes and all this kind of stuff. How did you want to handle a film like this?
Well, you know, I don't think we wanted to make it, you know, like a layup. You know, I didn't want it to just be like your standard layup kind of family film. I wanted it to have all the silliness and the laughs that you want to entertain kids. But I also wanted to have a couple of moments of true heart where we can like have a minute to have an honest moment in the movie and have some of those more emotional scenes play out. And that's why I think, you know, again, I can't say enough great things about obviously Jason and Anna Marie, but also, you know, Charlotte Ciano played the little girl in this movie. I think she did a terrific job with a lot of those. Again, back to what Eric said, the traumatic nature of you go through all this planning to have a party and nobody shows up. I think Charlotte really nailed that, nailed those emotions in the movie. And if we didn't have that, I mean, that's kind of the whole crux of the film there. That kind of got us going. That kind of set the whole table for us. So great performances. And I wanted to add, you know, have a nice balance of humor and then some emotionally grounded moments as well.
Eric, you mentioned that you love playing these type of villainous roles. How do you turn them on and off? And what is so special about this? I want to say conniving lawyer. I mean, are all lawyers evil?
Well, you know, William Shakespeare, I think, said it best. He said, kill all the lawyers first. And, and I always like that. Now, you know, poor lawyers get a bad rap because they have a bad job. They have a job that has to undermine the opponent. So they're undermining somebody all day, every day to help somebody else. So it's a really thankless job, and they're hated. And you know, it's unfortunate. But what was the question? I'm sorry.
How do you turn your villainous, mindset on and off so easily?
For me, it's like being 8 years old and playing cowboys and Indians. I just put it on, then I take it off, and I put on something else, and I take that off. And I've been lucky enough to see the planet. I've seen the whole place, all but the Arctics. I've seen the whole shebang. And I'm aware of the fact that I have the best job on the planet. So I'm very happy to go to work every day, and very happy to have my job and to talk to anybody about it.
Hey, Dan, one of the things that I love about this film is it is a family film, and you work with quite a few children in this movie, which is one of the, one of those things like you should never work with children and animals, and you did work with children. How did you want to handle them on a production like this?
It's funny. I actually don't have any children of my own. So I think that sometimes it's fun for me to work with kids because it's a new experience. It's almost like coaching like a little league baseball team. It's like kind of fun to see the excitement in these young actors. You work with a lot of adults and they're jaded a little bit, and you don't mean that in an ugly way. It's like they've just done it before. They don't care. Little kids, they're so excited. They're like, oh, that's the camera, and that's where the lights, and it's just so cool to see that excitement. And you can easily take that energy and kind of turn it into like a really fun performance. So I enjoy working with the kids. It's kind of refreshing after working with adults that, like Eric just said, not everybody is aware as Eric is, and not everybody realizes like what a cool job it is to be an actor. So the kids kind of immediately understand like how cool it is that they get to do this, and we love to work with that energy.
I can tell Eric wants to chime in a little bit. I know, Eric, you only work with Charlotte on a film like this, but I'm pretty sure out of your, 500, 600 plus movies, you work with plenty of children. Is it difficult for you?
No, because I'm an actor. I'm not the boss who has to deal with them. I can just be nice and give candy and walk away. He's the boss. Dan was great. Dan is a grown up. Dan acts like a grown up. Dan is a boss. Dan acts like a boss. Dan is very sweet and gentle though. And I'm an actor, for Christ's sake. I know how to do my homework and take care of myself and hit my mark. But he has a very nice maternal thing he brings to set. And he's very gentle and he's very sweet and he's very aware and he pays attention. And he's great with kids. Now that sounds like a cliche, other guy's good with kids. He is good with kids. He understands, and he also always got down to the kids' level when he spoke to them. He'd always squat down and talk to them right at their level. And he would do it without a big grand gesture. He would just do it. So even the kid didn't even notice it was a gesture. But I really admire Dan working with him because he had a really hard job making this movie, and he really did it the best way possible. He always took the shortest distance between your two destinations, and he's a smart guy to work for. I really enjoyed him.
Thank you, Eric.
Wow, that's a lot of kind comments for you, Dan, from Eric over here, which is
It's an honor.
Glad to hear. Now, in a family film like this, because of the the comedy and the children, is there a lot of improv actually going on?
Listen, I think there's always a little bit of it's all about personalizing, when you're acting, and I think like a lot of these actors personalized it. So yeah, there were the words on the page, but of course they're going to take it and bring nuanced like I think Eric does a lot of little nuanced micro beats, I call them, that are really cool and unique to just him, and it's something that you could never write in a script. They're just Eric kind of existing in the frame. So I wouldn't say like full on ad libs, but they're just these natural little things that people do that the great actors like Eric can kind of embody and put on the screen, that they're not on the page. That's that character, that's that actor working right there. So there was a lot of that, the little micro nuances that were just really brought to life by this cast.
Micro nuance. How do you describe your micro nuance, Eric?
Oh yeah, not to sound like pat mine, I'll pat yours kind of compliment our time, but I am just an actor, and I pride myself in being an actor who's always prepared. And so I just come to work having done my homework, and I follow my director like a child follows a mother. I will do what they want, when they want it, how they want it. And if they have a vision, I'm going to look great. And that's really the long and short of it. And Dan is a young cat who I just admired right away because how he was with the kid, and let him kind of tell me what he was after. And so I delivered what he told me he was after, and we had a good time working together. And
there was one really fun improv that Eric did when he's like saying goodbye to everybody. There's one point where he tells Barry that like, oh, there's a big mess in the bathroom and you better bring him up in a bucket. And then he turns and he says, he's talking about like how lucrative his practice is, and he's like, these cases, it's boring but lucrative. And he's like, oh, look at the time, too hip, go. And it was just the funniest thing, and it's not in the script, but it was just this funny little beat that he did. It was great, and ended up making it into the movie. So there's an example of, when we're comfortable and we're having fun, and we have the flexibility to play, great things happen.
Well, tell us about the great things that happened with all the different birthday parties that you actually have to come up with, and putting Jason through the ringer with all those.
Well, maybe we can talk for a second, like just from a production standpoint. It's one of those things. It's one thing to like think about it and envision all the things you have to do, but then you got to realize like, wait, we actually have to pull this off, and pull it off in such a way that like kids will think it's appealing. Like, so a kid watching this movie will say, oh, that's a cool space birthday, I'd like to be at that party. Or, oh, a basketball party, that'd be something fun to be a part of. Or, this kid might be into knights and dragons and things like that. So it was just about like, thinking back to being a little kid and remembering, every little boy and little girl likes, there's certain things, there's certain beats, whether it's cowboys, whether it's knights, whether it's space. So we just tried to find like sports. There's these common threads that every little kid tends to gravitate towards, and we wanted to cover all of the bases, whether you're an athletic kid, whether you're maybe the more shy intellectual kid, and oh, you're not into sports but you like astrology, whatever. So we just wanted to have a birthday for everybody. That's kind of what it came down to, something that every kid could, whoever's watching the movie, they could say, oh, I'd like that.
Wow.
Well said, boss. A birthday for everybody.
Is there?
This gives us a better understanding of Eric and his actor premises, because to Eric, this is probably, your job is like every day's a birthday then.
Pretty much. I like I told you, I'm aware I have the best job on the planet. So whenever anything goes wrong, I know it'll be fine in the end. It'll all be fine. It'll all come out in the wash. Don't panic.
Great. Well, let me drop one more thing, and Eric, this is about your characters, because your character lives in a hotel. What does that say about a person who lives in a hotel that we should know about? Because not many people live in hotels.
His life is transient. It's always on the move. It's always shifting. It is never solid. That's life in a hotel.
Most excellent. Well, gentlemen, hey, this is a fun conversation. Thank you very much for talking to us about Mr. Birthday. And once again, Dan, Eric, congratulations for this project.
Thank you, Gig.
Thanks, Gig.